right. Another week with your host, Matthias, with only one boy today.
John.
Just John. How you doing?
Good. It's pretty hype for Age of Sigmar. Got my first Soul Blight models, but I haven't started on them yet.
Hmm.
But doing some Death Watch right now. But soon, soon.
Yes. Well, it's not much news today, so I don't know how long the podcast will go. It'll probably be a bit shorter than normal. But I think we should talk about something that I didn't purposely bring up last week, which was last Saturday they had a preview animation going on.
That's right.
Hold this up right now. So, we got this preview going on. Oh, I did not mean to blast everyone's ears. So did you watch this preview or did you just watch the aftermath?
I watched the trailer, but did not realize there was like a 5 minute clip of the Blood Angel thing, so I haven't seen that one yet. But I do want to check that out eventually.
I watched it just because I just had it on in the background.
Okay.
Nothing really going on. Oh my god, was this disappointing?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, we can go over the quick. Who does this usually? Disney, where they just list a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Their roadmap.
Right. But for Disney though, the thing with Disney is it has an established reputation for making good movies and shows,
Uh,
especially
de-
like Marvel.
debatable, but I mean, with Marvel and even a little bit with Star Wars, right? All that stuff is kind of established.
Right.
All the even if you go with the no name characters they bring up, like Guardians of the Galaxy, or like today they released something called like the Eternals.
Eternals trailer, yeah.
All that has history. That isn't stuff that just made up and brand new. Granted, 40K has, established lore and all that, but a lot of this stuff that they're doing is kind of new kind
Right.
of deal. So
Right.
there's like no established character, and I mean the only one I can really point to that's not like a Space Marine is like Eisenhorn, right?
Right.
It's the only character I can name off the top of my head, and we're not getting anything about that. So all this stuff is brand new, so it's a little harder to know what's going to be happening. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Not a fan of just the title drop here because it's like cool, like we want the animation, you know.
yeah, I want to get into the Twitch thing after we go over the titles really fast.
Okay.
Um, and then I'll explain what happened since you didn't watch it apparently, which is fine because really you didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Hammer and Bolter. I took a little bit of notes here. Hammer and Bolter is their 40K anthology. I'm just gonna give like brief descriptions because
Okay.
there's really nothing to talk about. Angels of Death. This was the only thing they showed animation wise.
That's a Blood Angel one, right?
Yeah, this is the Blood Angel one, which which they said was going to be a 10-part series, and
Oh,
it's going to be released in July 2021.
probably their launch title, if anything.
Probably. The Exodite, Tau meeting Exodites. It's going to be a stealth team going meet some Exodites, I guess. Iron Within, dealing with the Iron Warriors. Altar of Wrath. I guess I didn't take a note on this. I think this has something to do with Inquisitors, but I can't remember off the top of
Okay.
my head. Black Talon. This is the only AOS animation in the lineup.
That's cool. That's actually exciting. Um, I mean, I'm biased right now because I have AOS hype, but I think AOS being such a young universe, I think anything like that would be great for Age of Sigmar. I think.
Yeah, well, I think honestly anything that could benefit from it animation and more hype would be AOS, but we can
Yeah.
discuss that in a minute. Interrogator. Okay, that this one's the Inquisitor one. I don't remember. I don't really remember what altar is. Broken Lands. This is gonna be the Imperial Knights.
Oh, okay.
Pariah Nexus. This is gonna be continuing the story of the Indominus box. You know, when they released that trailer for Indominus, is gonna be a continuation of that.
It's kind of interesting. Kinda.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a little interesting that they're continuing off a trailer. So, I mean, the
Right.
trailer was nice, so I'm sure this will look nice. High Lords, High Lords, and Astartes 2. That was all the animations they announced. I believe it's 11 in total. So we got a lot of 11. We got 11 in total. Yeah, they didn't show anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing was shown. They would go like, "All right, guys, uh, let's talk about our next animation here, Astartes 2." It would literally just be a picture of Astartes 2 logo, a 3-second soundbite, and they'd be like, "Yep, that's Astartes 2," and then they'd just go into a little bit more detail about it, or little vague details about it, and then that was it. None of these shows, except for one, which, if you were paying attention, the only one with a release date was Angels of Death. That was the only
Yep.
thing they showed. And even that has a vague release date because that's just July 2021. That doesn't tell us anything.
Right.
So I don't know what happened here. I feel like if you watched the event, and I was watching Twitch chat, so you know I wasn't the only one. Uh, this was extremely disappointing. I set my expectations to be I don't really care. If I see an animation, a show that I like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it'll have my attention. But it's like I don't really care too much about the animation stuff. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool. But, you know, it's not something where I'm like, "Oh man, I need to watch that right now" kind of deal. Cuz I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure there's going to be nothing in here that would make me do that.
I think they were banking on that, which honestly is it's very marketing centric. Some other companies do this where like I think Blizzard does this where like they announce something and then expect people to just go hype out of the title alone. Now, granted, that works sometimes, right? Like if Games Workshop next preview, well, not the next one because AOS, but like the following one just gives me a logo of Epic or of Battlefleet Gothic, I would lose my mind, right?
Right.
But it's like like the like Altar of War. It's like, or sorry, Altar of what did I say?
Wrath.
Altar of Wrath. Like, okay, cool. What? All right. The Black Templars are cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
there it is. White Templars. Thank you.
I guess I'm just in such a DGAF mood with the animation that I can't think of anything that would make me lose my mind, like a Battlefleet Gothic logo for as a game, because it's like cool, it's so untested, like, and I think that's the bigger question, that's the bigger meta talk with this, which we can talk more about later with the Disney Plus thing, but like, yeah, like we don't know what this is. We have nothing to base this on, but I guess there's the 5 minute Blood Angel one, and like, and I've seen clips of the previous clips of Angels of Death, and I'm not I'm not incredibly impressed. Like, I'm just kind of like watching it really quick right now. Yeah, like it's cool, right? It's kind of cute. From last week, I defined something as cute as like cool. Like, I don't hate it. I'm not hype about it. Like, I'm curious about it. But that's kind of it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I can't understand how they missed the ball so hard with this, because they dedicated a whole stream, they put web pages up about it, and we got nothing really. I
Okay,
mean,
but that's the GW marketing is they assume people would get excited just based on the fact that it exists, which again works for some miniature releases, like um if they teased like if they said Codex enslavers, holy crap, right? Because we know that means like they're gonna release an army, blah blah blah. But like, yeah, like just teasing a sentence and a title that doesn't work for like this untested Warhammer Animations thing. So I absolutely agree. It is disappointing because like there's nothing. Um, it's not the same as releasing a miniatures line, you know.
what it wouldn't have been any better. I mean, yeah, because we're expecting animations. But if they had just posted like still images, would have been like 10 times better.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because it's animation, right? We can see what it looks like, and that's why I kind of appreciated the trailer. Because they're like, okay, at least there's stuff, like the teaser trailer. Like at least there's animations playing of different stuff. Like okay, you know,
Right.
that's kind of cool. Um, but yeah, like there's just like like a 5 second clip of like each of these would be cool. I think if they took the like the minute and 40 second teaser trailer and then spliced it and talked about like each one, that would be better. I think at least we kind of know what we're talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm just not sure about this animations thing, man. Like overall, I mean, we can dig into it later, but yeah, that's
Well,
my impression from the reveals.
all right. Well, before we get into the what I can only assume is a huge mistake on their part, besides the presentation. I mean, I probably already know the answer. Do any of these draw your attention? Any of
From the
these
titles
titles?
or what the titles, just the Black Talon one, because again, I just want to see AOS like something. Because it is, I'm a fan of that game, and it's a baby right now in the grand scheme of of Warhammer. Like, it's like a toddler, it's like 6 years old, right? It's nothing too much has been done with it in terms of outside media. So it would be cool to see. And again, I think that's why fantasy was so or is still so powerful as a setting because we have 30 years of development, and I think an animation for AOS would be one extra step in demonstrating what this universe actually is. So that that's the only one I kind of care about.
And
um,
yeah, I would be in agreement with you because I think any if anything would be beneficial to this right now would be AOS. But I get why it's majority 40K because 40K is the most popular that
yeah.
they have.
Yep.
But we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping, but I'll make this clear. I'm not angry at any of the animators or whatever the shows because I don't know what they are. I'm angry at the presentation GW decided to do. Right? I hope all these shows are good. I hope they're
Yeah,
all
they could be
good.
amazing. Yep.
But the way that they presented it was fucking awful. It was
Yeah.
so bad. And then to add insult to injury, we got a Warhammer Plus. I know I know when we talked about animations like a month or two ago when they showed screenshots of the Exodite and something else. You're like, would you be willing to pay for these? And I'm pretty sure me and Will said no
Yeah.
because they're not worth it in the fact that they're going to be about at most 10 minutes, most likely 5 minutes long videos. And they didn't have enough uh works, film works to even warrant a subscription service.
Now, if this was, I agree. Now, if if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, if these 11 titles are all Age of Sigmar, I would freaking pay for it. You know,
You don't help my case though, John.
I know it doesn't, but um, I don't know, man. Yeah, 40K is just like because again, the thing with AOS, and I think this is a kind of meta commentary of the universe as a whole. Like fantasy seems just way more fun to watch, or like Age of Sigmar or Warhammer Fantasy would just be way more fun to watch than 40K because 40K is just like I think 40K just lends more to like as a video game or as um as a novel. I don't know. I just kind of
It's
yeah, like it's just the I don't want to see like gothic cathedrals in HD CG. It's like all right, cool. I want to see like Chaos Warriors fighting Seraphon in like a jungle. That would be cool. I mean, I guess you could do a Death World, right? But that doesn't really scream 40K
I mean
in the same
40K's
way.
got its moments. The problem is majority of the time they want to focus on the space marine. They're golden boys, right? So
Right.
I mean they're just not as interesting, right? That's why I gravitate to stories like Caiaphas Cain and the Eisenhorn series.
And
Even though I didn't like Ravenar, I still like some of the characters in Ravenar.
I think it speaks to your point too that I'm like the biggest Space Marine fan on this cast, and I'm not excited about any of the Space Marine stuff.
Yeah,
Even if it was Horus Heresy, like honestly, even if it was Horus Heresy, like the novels are just so up there in terms of how they build the like. I'm gonna talk about when we do hobby runs, but I'm reading like the latest Siege of Terror book right now, and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm like, I don't know how they can do this as a show because it would be wild, and I just really appreciate the way like how it's like the medium, which is literature, presents the universe as opposed to like at no point am I reading and I'm like, oh, I can wait for this to be a CG. I'm like, what, this is cool. I'm my imagination is firing up. Like I don't need a show for this. And again, like I'm not hype about any of this except for the AOS one. I'm sorry. To back to original point, I'm not hype about any of the Space Marine ones as of this moment. At least not enough to like want to pay for this service. I'd have to wait for reviews first.
well, I mean, we don't have any information because they didn't give any information in the live show, and I'm reading this now. Um, it's really no information given here either, other than it's gonna be a paid subscription. So, what would you value this subscription at? $5 a month?
Gosh, I would pay it right now. I would pay $5 a month
I don't think I would even pay $5 a month.
just to watch the AOS one. I don't know. I mean,
I think I'd only pay like $1 a month if that, because I mean, you can. Granted, they're claiming they're gonna be adding a lot more. Um,
also,
so
um,
let me just say some points that they
yeah,
said in the stream. So back to Angels of Death. It's gonna be a 10-part series with videos going from anywhere from 5 minutes to 10 minutes max.
Angels of Death.
Angels of Death.
Wow, that's really short.
It's a
Like,
10 part series. The one question they answered from the chat was how long. The question was how long are the shows, and they said depends on the shows. So if I'm just gonna go with Angels of Death, and 10 minutes being the max episode, max time limit, he's getting kind of not getting your money's worth out of this as for a subscription, because I'm gonna assume you can finish all this in like if you really wanted to in a day.
yeah, even like Mandalorian season one, which like was the only real original show for Disney Plus for a while. That was at least like like maybe not eight. What was it? Was it eight? Even for like 6 to 8 episodes that were like an hour-ish long. Like okay, that's worth $15,
Yeah,
right?
but
To most people, but it's
mm,
like a 10 like It's 100 minutes. If assuming they're all 10 minutes long, that's 100 minutes. That's less than 2 hours of content.
Yeah, but the thing with Disney Plus, right? Even if you just got it for The Mandalorian, you still have all the other Disney shows you could watch if you wanted to, right?
Right, right. There's that too.
So, yeah, you paid only for The Mandalorian subscription, but you still have access to everything else. This, you're paying for like a Angel's Death would be a 10-part series, yeah, but
That's it.
it's 10 minutes max an episode. And
Right.
Astartes is what? What's his average Astartes? Like 3?
Again, even if it's 10, or even if it's 10-minute episodes, that's not a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'd be very skeptical of this right now. Well,
There's also to me the biggest problem of the paid subscription is that even like let's say even if these were hour-long episodes, right? Let's say these are hour-long episodes. Let's say they're amazing, right? The people who would know that exists and watch it would be Warhammer fans already. And I don't think it's in it's the it's maximizing this medium by just appealing to Warhammer fans. I think this to me this the most effective business decision would be to put this on like Netflix or Amazon or video or even YouTube. Maybe put a few episodes on YouTube, right? So non-Warhammer fans could check it out and be like, "Oh, what's Warhammer?" and then get into the universe. Now, maybe Netflix is asking for too much. Maybe Netflix wants more creative control, right? Or Amazon. Okay, fine, right? But I think Games Workshop needs to branch out and have something outside of Warhammer Plus, even if it's just on YouTube, like episode 1 of Black Talon, episode 1 of Pry Nexus on YouTube, just so non-Warhammer fans can be like, "Oh, what is this?" and then hop onto the service. Because right now, like again, you're only Warhammer people would know what this is and would pay for it, and that doesn't really help grow the hobby in my opinion as much as if it was another popular streaming service. But again, I get why maybe it's not.
well, I
um
mean, Warhammer
yeah,
is pretty mainstream now, but
it could be
this is a
mainstream now.
lot to ask for. I can only really see diehard fans getting into this, and you know, obviously you're gonna get people are gonna buy this to support their creators, right? People are gonna buy this to support the Astartes guy,
Right.
um,
And
and all that other stuff, because they
to
want
me
this to succeed. So the problem is you gotta buy into it, otherwise they'll be like, well, we tried, cut the service off.
right, to me the biggest thing is still it's just an untested medium, which is the Warhammer animation. Like we don't know if, again, I love us not love, I enjoyed Astartes, right?
All right.
I don't know if I'd pay for it, even current. I don't know if I'd pay for current Astartes. You know, I don't think it's that amazing that I would want to pay for it. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
man,
I agree.
I'm just uncertain about this. We'll see when we actually get content. I hope they release a demo episode on like YouTube or something, and so we could kind of see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess if the AOS one is half decent and it's not like $20 a month, I think if it was, I would pay again. I would personally pay $5 to watch the entire AOS thing. Um, but
Well,
that's
we're gonna
just
have to wait and see how they're gonna do their distribution, right? Are they gonna pull the Disney Plus and do episode a week kind of deal?
oh man, that would be annoying. Then I would wait till it's over.
Well, I mean, like I said, we don't know. They
Yeah.
didn't they didn't explain anything. We're not gonna know anything until I think they said June 23rd. More information about Warhammer Plus. So we got a whole month, literally a whole month right now to wait for Warhammer Plus information, and this thing's gonna be obviously it's gonna be kicking probably July 1st, if anything, early July, since Angels of Death is coming July 2021.
Right.
So I guess we'll have to wait and find out. And yeah, then like I said, the only thing they showed was the Angels of Death. They showed like 7 minutes of it. Each snippets from a couple episodes. So if that
Yeah.
gets you hooked, there you go. This is the first thing they're gonna release because it's the only one with the release date. I'm sure they're gonna be like, all these animations are done. Here they are on the app because I don't think Angels of Death would be a big enough selling point. I could be wrong. I haven't really been following any of the Warhammer animation news, so I mean, people could be really hyped for this. I don't
And
know, but I doubt it.
most people I've seen are just annoyed at the paid subscription of like because it's so untested. We just don't know what it's gonna be like. Like period. We really just don't know. That's just the biggest thing is we don't know what it's gonna be like.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all the information I have on the Warhammer animation stuff. All the best, really. Like I said, I don't want the animations to fail. I hope they succeed. And just think the presentation and what they're doing with it is the wrong step. But I'm not in business, so I don't know. And you have any other things you want to say on this before we move on to more positive news?
That's just it. I'm just not as excited as a consumer.
Hmm.
I want more AOS. Give me more AOS. I will pay $15 a month for like if this are all if again these are all Age of Sigmar, I would totally pay like $15 a month to watch all of them at once.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'd be there with you, but I think if it was more complete and if Warhammer had already animations and stories out there that they could easily bundle in here, like the only one that comes to mind is what was the crappy CGI movie they did?
Oh, Space Marine,
Was it Space Marine? Okay,
Ultramarine.
Ultramarine. There you go. That's the only animation that I'm aware of that GW has like fully produced
Yeah, and it
out there.
sucks.
Yeah, it's garbage. So I mean, even if they threw that in, still wouldn't be worth it. But if they had a bigger library, I think it could work. You could sell it. Along, of course, you have to have more of the new animations in there, not just the old stuff. But with only Ultramarine, it's gonna be a hard sale.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get out of this, shall we? And we can go to Sunday preview.
Right.
We already get Kragnos. He's coming out fast.
He is. His rules are previewed as well today. Long story short, he's just a massive beat stick. He doesn't really have too much army buffs. It's mostly just like he has a special rule where when he charges a monster, you roll 2d6 on a 7, nothing happens. Any other result you multiply the dice and you do that many more wounds. um so you could do between like 1 to 36 more wounds if you charge a monster. Which that's pretty. People are like, oh, it's pretty nasty. It's pretty OP. It's like, well, like he doesn't really do much for his army. And yeah,
One to
he has the
36 mortal wounds.
he has a bravery debuff, or sorry, bravery buff.
That's pretty crazy.
And that's it. Yeah, if you
Though,
charge a monster.
though I will say, I'm not big AOS. I don't know all the rules too well, but that sounds pretty crazy.
Right. But again, it's to me, right. I think for when it comes to like big centerpiece god models, in war games, I think the best feature they need is, or I guess rule they need is utility. Whether it's Warhammer or War Machine, like if you have a big centerpiece like Nagash or the Silent King or Guilliman, or even Mortarion or Magnus, like Magnus and Mortarion aren't OP or aren't strong because you point them at the enemy and they do stuff like because they also buff their army, debuff the enemy, have some kind of utility like even Mortarion, a psyker, he could cast psychic powers. Yeah, he's a killable demon primarch that does a lot of damage, but he also does more than that.
Mm-hmm.
right now Kragnos is just like he'll kill what he charges. That's kind of all he does. Um, but at the end of the day, like everything depends on his point cost. Like if he costs more than like 600 points, then I think he's kind of bad right now. Um, but if he was like 400 or 500 points, yeah, I can see him popping up in some destruction armies. It's just that you're paying a lot for something that doesn't receive any army buffs at the moment. Like maybe when his army comes out, you'll see some stuff. Maybe there's a maybe in his campaign book there will be rules for fielding a Kragnos army with a Kragnos led destruction army that has some buffs. Maybe that'd be different. But right now, just looking at his war scroll, it's like yeah, it's kind of cool. You know,
Well,
like I can delete what he charges, but so there's other things that are more points efficient, have a bigger footprint. As a squad of dudes, stuff like that.
him and his book are coming out pre-order this week, so I get to look forward to that. It
Yeah,
seems to be all the big Warhammer fantasy models they showed. What April
yeah,
are
Lord
gonna be
Crow,
the ones that are be coming out. So we get Lord Crow coming out as well. About time.
the keepers of secrets.
Yep, we got the what the hell are these things called? Not
The
like demon princes. They're like
greater demons.
I thought they
I think
had
they're
like
greater.
something special. I don't
I don't know
remember.
if they're special characters, but yeah,
Something better than a greater demon. That's all I remember. The article saying.
gotcha.
Uh, and we got the
First off, Revenant, the
yeah
Sylvaneth
the uh the dream killer of Vespid army. Yes.
guy.
So all the big centerpieces they released or announced back in April finally coming to the table and one big release. So hope you're not buying all of these in one day because that's gonna be expensive. But here they all are. We also got the father daughter witch hunter unit coming finally.
I'm debating getting that for like Rangers of Shadow Deep, but we'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling when I go to the store on Saturday. Uh,
Yeah, they look nice. I might get one. Put them with my Black Templars.
there you go. Also, it's not shown here, but based on like the shipment manifest to like independent stores, there's gonna be more of those like start collectings because every time they release a Broken Realms book, they release like a start collecting kind of limited box. So we'll be seeing those. Not sure what the contents are yet because we only get the names, but it should be interesting when the pre-order drops on. So keep an eye out for that when the pre-orders drop on Saturday.
Hmm. All right, we got the tournament mission pack for 40K coming. Mark two.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll have like profile updates because people are saying, are they going to update Chaos Marines with 2 wounds? Who
Dude, I
knows?
would hope so because
That'd be great. That'd be really great.
I don't know if I said this in the podcast, but I played against Chaos Space Marines last month, and oh my god, dude, they need it. They need it so bad. It's so sad killing
Yeah,
them off because they only have one wound. But yeah, we got that Black Library. I don't know if any of this catches your attention, John, but we got the
or this audiobook. I would be hyped, but I'm already like 2/3 done. Actually, no, I'm like 4/5 done with the book, so it's like too kind of too late for me.
mm,
But it's okay. Maybe when I'm bored and there's nothing to listen to, I'll pick it up and have Jonathan Keeble talk about Psi Titans fighting possessed Titans.
got the Gazgul book, looking nice. Realm Lords, Gore-Tex and Felix.
I've been
Eh,
listening to Gortrek and Phillips, and they're pretty enjoyable. Just like generic old world adventures.
isn't this
Yeah.
guy like dimensional? Gore-Tex or Felix? Isn't he in AOS?
So Gortrek is an AOS. He is the avatar of the Dwarven God at the moment. Um, and Felix is allegedly a Stormcast now. So there's actually rumors like we'll see a model for him in 3.0, Stormcast Felix, so that would be kind of cool.
Pretty cool. And that's pretty much it for that. And then, going, if you look at the bottom, we got another Saturday preview coming up.
All right, the
And
more
if
the box set.
we go here, it is what's in the box. What is in the box?
So it's gonna be Stormcast and some Destruction Army.
Yeah, so GW or the Warhammer community has been dropping rumor engines each day, and I'm just gonna go day by day here. So day one, it looks like we got some kind of, I don't know, what would you say, orc shield.
Yep.
The face, I mean, it just looks very orky. Could be like a squiggle stretched out or something like that. Hard to tell. Next picture, we got a hook. Couldn't really tell you too much about that. Could be orky, could be something. Third day, looks like a cauldron, if anything.
Yeah, it does look like a cauldron.
Now I remember the um teaser video they put out. They said something like they're in the mire or something, and you got all those Empire soldiers dying off one by
Yeah,
one. So, can we assume this is gonna be something, some like forest orcs kind of deal? Got like a holy hand grenade and going. We got like a monster hand here, so it's not a it's not a Sigmar hand. Should we take any guesses?
probably gonna be some some like swamp orc or like swamp goblin thing. I think like hobgoblin sort of thing in old world. So that'll be kind of interesting. You see like a hob like it'd be like a more like sinister goblin army. Because I mean, yeah, Gloomspite exists, but they're kind of in the more comedic end with like the getting high up with mushrooms and all that. So it will be interesting to see like a more sinister type goblin army, more scary and creepy looking, fighting some Stormcast. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, the next one we got just pretty much just potions and a coin sack. It looks like. You think any like Empire? I don't know what they're called in AOS. Do you think like any Empire models would be in this set?
I don't think so. I think we'll see them released, but I don't think they'll be in this set. I think they'll just stick with Stormcast and this destruction thing. That would be cool if there was like Empire or Six of Sigmar stuff, but I would not get my hopes up for that.
Hmm. Well, the next one is a axe. Now, this kind of looks like I think the Minotaurs had this kind of axe, right?
Yeah, it's a very like crude looking, not very well made axe, which I think supports the idea that it's going to be a destruction army.
You think it's just gonna be a plain generic destruction army?
I think it's going to be a new destruction faction. Like
Well,
this is a new army.
well, yeah, I guess it makes sense, right? Because if it was just a generic destruction army, it wouldn't be hiding it this hard.
Exactly.
And then the last one, it looks like we got another squig face kind of deal going on, or orc shield, I guess.
Could be a creature.
It could be a creature, but I kind of doubt it because going on the top of its head looks like it's got like a metal coming out of it, but it could just be a design.
Could just be a design.
So a swamp, a swamp destruction army, huh?
I guess I'm gonna put money in swamp goblins. If we were gonna just like place bets now, I'm gonna say it's swamp goblins.
Swamp goblins, huh?
Yep.
I would agree that it's gonna be greenskin.
Yeah, it's gonna be green skin.
Well, I mean, you know, the greenskin race. It's just
Right, right.
just I don't. Obviously, they're gonna do something, make something creative, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
gonna be.
what they would be.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be super wild like Deepkin or Caradrons, but I think it's gonna. Okay, it will be something that fits in old world that could conceivably be an old world. Um, because I think there's right now there's an abundance of wild out there factions, and I think they're trying to balance that out with more quote unquote grounded fantasy factions. So I think it's gonna be something that could be in old world.
I don't think
Just
so.
just to more design space. You think it's gonna be crazy like flying orcs or something?
I think it'd be like mud orcs or something, right? If they're gonna be like a swamp kind of deal.
Mod orcs gonna be in fantasy.
I mean, they could, but that stuff would be like construct orcs or something like that. These are like
Mm.
magical kind of orcs, kind of like how they. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember like the seraphim are just like dreams or something. They're not real anymore because they're all dead or something.
So there's two kinds of Seraphon. There's those guys, and then there's living Seraphon. So it's actually kind of cool because like if you play Seraphon, you could pick either an army base that's made of dreams. Essentially they're like order demons created by the Slaane's magic power. So they're just beings of celestial energy. And then there's the flesh and blood dinosaur um Seraphon.
The OG.
The OG, yeah. And again, I think if you play the flesh and blood one, you get more bonuses in combat. But if you play the Dream Order Demons one, you get more like deep strike or something, which is kind of cool. But yes, those absolutely exist in Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, well, I would think it'd be something kind of like that,
Yeah.
where they're like
Okay.
just magic constructs of orcs kind of deal. But
Okay.
and I'd be wrong, but because like if you just say normal forest orcs, I'm like, isn't that just savage orcs? Isn't that
No,
just
but they're swamp. Savage orcs are desert.
whatever? So
Have different biomes for your greenskins.
I
But even
mean, I would
Savage
just
orcs are comedic. I think this new one will be scary. Will not be funny at all.
let's hope. I hope it's cool. I'd be just a little disappointed if it is orcs, right? Because then this would what be the third faction of orcs? That's not
I think
goblins or anything.
yeah, because we have Savage Orcs, Iron Jaws. Actually, no, that's it. Just Savage Orcs and Iron Jaws. They squatted regular orcs.
Yeah, so I'd be a little disappointed. Though I don't know what kind of mystical race they could throw into the order chaos or disorder
Destruction.
destruction faction.
Yeah, we'll see. But we'll know before the next podcast, and we'll probably be talking about it.
Yep, because that'll be huge. That'll probably take up a good portion of the podcast,
Yeah,
I'd say.
I would say so.
So let's let's see who's right. John's saying goblins. What kind of goblins?
Swamp goblins,
Swamp goblins, and I'm saying mud orcs.
mud or oh dang, swamp goblins versus mud orcs.
So we'll see who is right, and most likely
Mathematical.
we're both wrong, but we'll see who's closest.
Yeah, it's gonna be potato people. That's the real answer. I
But
wouldn't even like jokes aside if it was potato people because it's Age of Sigmar.
yeah, well, I mean, it'd be something unique and something out of left field that no one would have ever thought of.
Yes.
But yeah, unless you got any more topics here, I think we can go into hobby rants.
I think that's it. News to talk about. I mean, AdMech's getting the book soon, and oh, fun fact: with the AdMech book leaks, the apparently the transport they have, the Dune Rider. I'm talking about the hovercraft thing.
Yeah,
It says can transport Imperium infantry, so it can transport guardsmen, Primaris Marines, Firstborn Marines, Custodes, um, and Sisters. Probably gonna get FAQ'd, but it's pretty hilarious at the moment.
Yeah, well, we'll see how well it goes. I mean, because I don't really see. Granted, there's not too many codexes out there, but I'm not seeing too much souping out there unless you're Eldar.
It's just funny to have like custodians and firstborn ride the same transport.
Yeah,
I
well,
think I think it's a typo, but I just find it kind of funny.
yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Who knows? Maybe it won't change. Maybe they'll FAQ it in the fact that they'll be like, yeah, if you take a Primaris Brain, it takes like 2 slots or something like that kind of
Oh
deal.
my god, that'd be dumb in a funny way. But yeah, other than that, well, not really any hobby stuff to hobby news to talk about.
Well, I did what's it called? I played Star Wars Legion actually.
Oh,
I
how'd
did
that go?
we did my friend who's also just getting into the game. I wanted to do 800 points. So I tried out 800 points of Imperium against Rebels. I think there was a couple rules questions out there, but I think we got through it. And of
Okay,
course the good guys won, Imperial.
of course. Who was your commander?
Vader.
Of course, of
It was
course.
it was Vader against Luke. So it was fun. Had a great time. Also did another game of Age of Sigmar.
Oh,
Yeah. Again, another friend who's just getting into the game, and since it's been so long since I played the game, I might as well be considered a newbie as well.
yeah.
Yeah, I decided to take my elves this time. Not good. Did not go well.
What was he playing?
He was playing the Slaves to Darkness with the Mark of Nurgle on him.
Got it.
This game was 1,000 points. Yeah, dude, the Mark of Nurgle, that hurts. That's painful. If you don't know what the Mark of Nurgle does in AOS, basically any sixes to wound them, you suffer a mortal wound.
Oh, okay.
I believe just in combat. So I mean, if I hit him with like projectiles and stuff, I would have been fine. But yeah, it was just more of a wow, I'm killing myself more than he's actually killing me. But other than that, that was that. Probably get a 40k game in. Hopefully, do some other stuff. Maybe get a bat rep out now
Ooh, that'd
that
be fun.
everything's finally calming down for me. But yeah, I don't know what exactly is going to be happening this weekend. We'll see, and I'll let everyone know later.
Right.
What about you, John? Anything? You said nothing, right?
Um, we did not do any gaming this weekend. Right. Yeah, I didn't do any gaming this weekend. Just just hobby for the week. I finished my first 5 Death Watch guys, and then I'm about to finish my second 5 Death Watch guys as you're doing this podcast. Um, and then gonna start some vampires. Picked up some vampires on Saturday. Picked up some Blood Knights and the Vampire Centaur. So still waiting for my order with the skeletons and zombies and whatnot. But pretty excited. Was building some lists. It was funny. I was hanging with a friend. I was picking her up, and I was in the car waiting and just building army lists for for vampire counts. Um, Interesting changes on the with the new army book that I think will be reflective of the new edition. A big thing is for like the basic infantry, like skeletons and zombies. They start in blocks of 20. Um, which is
Oh.
the minimum size of the box. Like if you buy a box of zombies or skeletons, you get 20 models, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the lowest, the smallest unit size you can get them in, which is kind of interesting, kind of new to me because I'm like, huh. So well, I guess I need like 60 dudes to fulfill my battle line. Well, and direwolves. Direwolves work as well. So I get 10 direwolves, but
How many
um
points is a unit of 20 skeletons?
oh, it's cheap. They're like 140 or something.
Okay, so like
For 20 guys that can
be
come back.
70, 70 if it was like a 10-man squad kind of deal.
Yeah.
Do you have
It's
to? Can you increase by 10 or does it be increased by 20?
I think they increased by 20. Let me look at I have the app here. Let's see. Let's look at my army lists. Let's see. Soul Blight. I lied. I'm so dumb. Zombies are blocks of 20. Skeletons you can get in squads of 10. Whoops.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, kind of. I mean, I know they want you to use all their models, but it seemed a bit excessive there.
Yeah. Yeah, zombies are blocks of 20.
Okay,
They're 115 for 20, which is pretty cheap. They have no save though, so they die really easily.
of course.
But it's interesting because they have this. This is so funny. Zombies have this. So zombies, when they hit, they roll a 6 to hit. They do a mortal wound. So they have like fourth edition rending from Gene Stealers. I mean it's one attack per model, right? But if you have 20 zombies, you're getting at least like on average like 3 to 4 mortal wounds. You know
Hey,
that's pretty high.
Watsudaka will eventually get you a lot of wounds.
Yep, true that. True
Volume
that.
of dice.
Volume of dice. Um, Also, something interesting with the rules is I think I mentioned this last week, but named characters count as a general in addition to your general. So I'm able to like I don't have to because a lot of the generic generals give you battle line bonuses. For example, if you take a White King as your general, Graveguard become battle line. But if I have a special character, usually you'd want them to be your general. But now you could have the best of both worlds. So I think that's kind of cool.
You think there's gonna be a max on that?
I don't think so. Um, I think they'll just give more benefits for generic characters to why you would want them as battle line. I think that's my prediction.
So, just like hypothetical here, if you took two special characters and one generic character, would you get all three general abilities, or
I
that's
guess
kind of what
so.
I'm asking.
I guess yeah, because like if Lokavai is included in a Soul Blight Gravelord's army with the Avangori Dynasty lineage keyword, this model is treated as a general in addition to the model that is chosen. Yeah, if you're using that chapter of vampires, then the special character is a general in addition to your general. But as far as I know, each chapter or dynasty only has one special character, except for Nagash. He could be anyone. So I guess if you include Nagash and the generic and the special character of that dynasty, you
You could have
you have three generals.
three
Actually, Nagash
generals.
doesn't even count as a general. That's interesting. Or he doesn't become the extra general. Okay, never mind then. So I guess you can only have two max because each chapter only has one general or one special character
Okay.
that has that ability. Let's see. See if I do Radukar and the old lady. So she's a general, and Radukar. Never mind. Yep. If you have if you have Radukar and the old lady on the wolf, they're both your general. And then if you have a white king, like my army has a white king as a general for battle line for Graveguard. And yeah, I essentially have three generals. I don't know what that does.
Well,
Uh,
I guess we'll find out Saturday.
I guess we'll find out Saturday. So yeah.
Probably not. We'll probably have to wait till we get the book. But I think, yeah, I'm
um,
pretty sure Saturday will be more like just models.
yeah, just reviewing the models. But long story short, I mean, but my point being, like, yeah, I'm pretty hype about vampires right now. I'm probably gonna finish these Death Watch tonight, and gonna start building some vampires tomorrow.
Yeah, I started working on my Daughters of Cain. Started
Yeah,
painting up the Doomfire Warlocks.
yeah,
Because who doesn't like doing 6 mortal wounds just right off the bat?
that's hype.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it, and I want to use that endless spell, the Blood Rack Viper.
Oh, that's right. You could they could cast it.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I think that's it. Expect big news next week. And we'll catch you all next week. Till next
Right,
time.
when we talk about potato people.